if you don't want to go into another season feeling like you're stressed out and behind all the time, this video is for you. Hi, I'm Jenny, and I teach wedding cake makers how to be better business owners. Today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through my weekly routine. Now, I only make wedding cakes, and the reason I make wedding cakes, as you'll find from this video, is that it's super, super efficient. And I'm going to go through every single day what I do on a regular basis. Now, to stay productive, to stay efficient, to stay sane, you want to make sure that you have some practices in place so that you're not always running around, like a chicken with your head cut off, feeling like you can't keep up and feeling like you're always behind. So these practices hopefully will help you stay on track as well. Okay, so every day of my life, I don't care where I am or what, if it's a holiday, whatever, well, maybe a holiday, but I make a list of what I need to do every single day. Actually, I do it on holidays now that I think of it. Even if the same stuff is on the list every single day it says gym, every single day it might say go for a walk, go to the store, whatever, but I make a list every single day. And this helps me because I won't forget anything. So even if I don't have the list with me or keep the list in front of me, or if I, am not always looking at it, just the practice of writing those things in the morning makes my brain remember, like, oh, I have to do this. Okay, so every day I make a list. I usually use scrap paper, and I usually just have the paper in my purse, and then I add to it if I need to. And I love checking things off, so I love just writing whatever I don't want on there. And the way that I do it is every day on the left hand side I will put what definitely has to be done that day, and then on the right hand side I'll make a list of things that if I do get some extra time I can work on those. Because sometimes you'll have some downtime and you'll think, well, wait a minute, what should I be doing right now? And I know it seems silly that you might not remember, but you might not remember, so that's why I do that. Okay, so make a list every single day. Every single day I try to do some sort of a workout. It doesn't have to be anything strenuous or anything like that. I have my gym days, but if I can't go to the gym or something like that, I make sure to get a little bit of time outside or a little bit of time just to get my head fresh and get things in order. Now, I know that people have kids and animals and things like that. I do too. I did this whole business on my own with two little kids, so I know how stressful it can be, and you can't always fit that in. But if you try to make it a priority and put it on your list, over time you will start feeling as though, okay, I'm going to squeeze this in. Okay, so those are the two things that I do every day. Now, I'm going to go through every single day, and I'm just going to go through what I do, what those days are for. So starting with Monday. Monday is sort of a flex day. So that's my admin day. I usually don't have weddings that day. Every once in a while I have a random Monday wedding, maybe like 3 in 30 years, but that's an admin day. So every morning I'll check emails and make sure to respond with everyone that I can. I don't check emails all day. I do it in the morning, and then I'll do it later on in the afternoon, but I am not on my email all day long. I check them, it's not life or death. Usually someone's wedding is going to be months in advance, so we don't have to be on email answering every single inquiry every single second, because people aren't getting back to us immediately either. Okay, so I check emails in the morning, and then I make a list of everything that I have to do that week. So if I have to order anything special, I'll go through all my orders and make sure that there's nothing that I don't have to do in advance. So I make sure to do all that on Mondays. And then it's a flex day. If I want to have lunch with a friend, that's the day that I do it. If I want to take a little time off and do something fun, that's the time I do it. Okay. So I also, that on that day is I confirm all of my uh, clients for the next few weeks. So I'll go through my list and see who's ready. I'll check with them to see if I have the final guest count and make sure that I have all the information that I need, and then I'll write invoices on that day, because there's nothing worse than being on a busy Friday and then you have to get an invoice out. Like, that is not productive at all. So I try to do all that at once. So when you're sitting in front of your computer, you just try to get every single thing done. Okay. Oh, one other thing that I want to mention, social media. I try to do that every morning as well. So along with my list and my exercise or some sort of healthy thing like that, I do try to do some sort of social media. Okay. And a little bonus tip, if you are into this kind of stuff, I kind of do a little like 7-minute meditation every morning when I can. I can't do it all the time because I have a dog that needs a lot of attention in the morning. He has a little pee pee problem, so I have to get him out early. But when I can, I do a little 7-minute like gratitude and then just sort of envisioning my life, what I want my life to be. So I have gotten in the habit of doing that. I've talked about that before. But so that's a little bonus one if you want to add that into every day. Okay. So social media as well. All right. So Monday we covered. Tuesday, this is a day I'm usually not in the kitchen, but if I do need to prep something in the kitchen, some of the fillings that I use have to be done a day or two in advance. So I'll do anything like that. I will shop. I'll do all my shopping on a Monday or Tuesday. Even, if I want to take Tuesday off for some reason, I'll do my shopping on a Monday. Typically, I'll do my shopping on a Tuesday. So all my shopping, all my ordering, some stuff I order online, but most of the stuff these days, I have just been picking it up at the grocery store because I don't want to store a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, we're not way into super super busy season, so I just try to get what I need. So I do that. That's the shopping day. And then Tuesday night is usually a fun night out, either date night or that's a fun night out with my friends. So that's kind of our weekend, because we're working on the weekend. Okay, Wednesday is baking day. This is the day that I'll do, if not all of it, most of my baking. Now, I will mention this. If I have a Friday wedding that week, I'll do the baking on a Tuesday. So today, for instance, I actually have a random Thursday wedding. So I'm here on a Tuesday, and I baked for that one because I don't need to do it that far in advance because it's not super, super big or difficult. But if I do need to bake on a Tuesday for a Friday wedding, I'll do that. But typically Wednesdays is when I do all my baking. And it keeps it efficient because you're doing it all at once. You're turning on the oven all at once. You're in the groove. It just is a big time saver, and it's super efficient if you're doing it that way. Thursdays is the day that I will fill all my cakes and crumb coat them and put the final coat on. So all the cakes will be chilled from the day before because you don't want to do anything without chilled cake. You found that out in my last video with all my baking tips. So this is the day that I fill them, crumb coat them, and put the final coat of buttercream on them. And again, this seals in the moisture. Everything stays fresh. I don't freeze anything. So this is my process for that. And then again, you have a lot of time to have them chill overnight. And then again, the nice thing about this is you're already in the kitchen, you're already making buttercream, you're already making fillings. It's way more productive to do it all at once than to come in for a couple hours one day and a couple hours the next day. That is just a big waste of time. So if you do it all at once, it's way more efficient. All right. So that's what I do on Thursdays. Now, if I am making sugar flowers or anything like that, I'll start those on a Monday or a Tuesday, and then I will do that in between other things. So if I'm waiting for something to cool, I'll work on some flowers for like 45 minutes because working with flowers, you have to let them dry anyway. So you want to make sure that you have plenty of time for that. But I start those in advance. And then I will say that usually if I have a ton of sugar flowers, it is a little bit of a rush on a Wednesday or a Thursday to get those done as well. But I try to have them all done. So you can work that in. Now, if you do have a really big project where you have a lot of sugar flowers, you can start them months in advance and then just make sure that they're covered and kept dry. But you don't want to procrastinate. That's one of the biggest things that gets you in trouble because once you start putting things putting things off, which I used to be guilty of this. I'm so much better now and so much more sane now. But if you try not to procrastinate, then that way if something comes up unexpectedly, like you have a sick kid or you have to take your parent somewhere or something like that, or something comes up like, I've had to take my animals to the vet in between on a work day. So then you'll have time for that and you won't feel completely stressed out because you already did that stuff, okay? So Thursdays, all the cakes are filled, coated, and then they get to chill overnight. That way everything has time to chill completely. And then Fridays is the day that I will finish all my cakes. Now, again, like I mentioned, if you do have a Friday wedding, just put this a day in advance. So like that Friday's cake would be done on the Thursday. And then that way that keeps you on track. So you're not scrambling on the day of a wedding to finish a wedding cake, deliver it, and then also work on Saturday's wedding. Okay? So Fridays, I put all the cakes together and finish them as much as I can, meaning if there's something that I can't do until the last minute, I'll leave that for Saturday. But typically, they are all done stress free. That way, if something comes up, Saturday on a Saturday morning that I didn't expect, the cake's already done. You don't have to worry about it. So that's what I do on Fridays. Fridays are a long day. Thursdays are probably the longest day. Filling is probably what takes the longest. And then, Fridays is a pretty long day as well. So then Fridays, all the cakes are done. They're in the refrigerator. They're all chilled. Saturday is the day that I have client meetings. I do my client meetings on Saturday mornings. The reason for that is because I don't want to take time out of a productive baking day. So I'll do a few meetings in the morning, and then if I want to open up the kitchen on a Sunday and do more meetings, I'll do some on Sunday. But I lump them together so that you're only making one batch of sample cakes and you can use them for a Saturday and Sunday. Sometimes I'll do a Monday night or a Monday day meeting if there's someone that's not available on a weekend, but typically most people are available on weekends. So that way I have a pretty chill day Sunday, because even if I do have a wedding, all I have to do is deliver it. It's already done. So, I can hang out with my kids. I can hang out with my friends if there's something going on a weekend. Okay. And then that way I'm not stressed out. I'm not under the gun trying to finish something last minute because I waited too long to do it. I have a regular schedule that every single day I know what I'm doing, so that, again, if something comes up, if somebody asks me to do something on a Thursday and I know I have a busy week, it's like, I can't do it. So that is my weekly schedule. And I do want to mention too a couple other things that will keep you sane during the busy season is make sure that you are holding yourself I don't want to say accountable, but you want to stay in your integrity. So don't try not to let other people make you do something you don't want to do. So for instance, I was asked to go to a concert, and I knew it was going to be a really busy week. And the reason I was going to go to the concert, I mean, it sounded really fun, but half of the reason why is because I didn't want to let the other person down. So I thought about it and I was like, you know what? It's just going to stress me out too much. And I just told her, I was like, hey, listen, that's a busy week. I can't overextend myself. Thank you so much for inviting me, but I'm going to have to decline. And I know it's hard for us as people pleasers to disappoint people, and that might happen, but you're going to be better off if you stay responsible to the things that you have to do. And then if you have to say no once in a while to someone, or if there's another obligation that is going to stress you out, really, really try hard to say no and keep those boundaries. That's going to keep you sane through the season as well. And your work will come out better. Everything will come back to you. You'll have time later on to make up for it. So just keep that in mind too. So those are that's my weekly schedule. This is what I do. This is how I've been doing it for, I don't know, over 20 years. I mean, before there were times when I used to squeeze meetings in between other things to try to accommodate people. But if people want to meet with you, they will find the time to meet with you. So if you have regular set hours, all kinds of other places have regular set hours. Restaurants have set hours. Stores have set hours. Don't let anybody tell you like, oh, I can't come in until 8 o'clock on a Wednesday night. Like, no, people do stuff all the time. So if people really want to meet with you, they will meet with you during your times, and they will respect you for it too. Okay. So those are my tips. I hope you find this helpful. And if you do, please like and subscribe. I would love that so I can help other bakers. And if you do want to go further with your business and get more serious about your business, I do have the Wedding Cake Business Academy coming out very soon. I'm just putting some finishing touches. It's mostly visuals because I changed platforms for it. And if you do want to be on that, my email is going to be in the description, so you can just find it there and just email me a couple words. Doesn't have to be anything spectacular. You don't have to write a novel, and just let me know and I'll put you on that list, and then you'll be first to know when that comes out. Okay? So thanks so much for being here. We'll see you next week. Bye.